I'm just wondering how much DC weighs right now.
You used to make fun of me about being fat. Look at you.
I look good.
He tries to like pull his shirt and the hottest.
Good.
It's hot as hell out here. Can we go inside? Make sure his house is as far away from mine as it can be. I don't need his energy around me.
We can't afford for anything bad to happen out here. We're in the middle of nowhere. There's barely anybody to pull me off of them.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God. Yeah, okay. You guys are crazy.
I think we all know what would happen.
No. What would happen is now we'd be fighting at a more natural weight for me, so I would probably drown him in that pool right there. Keep him away from the water with me.
Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier have resumed their classic trash talk. Cormier claims Jones won their first fight but cheated in the second, while Jones warns with a grin that they're in the middle of nowhere, joking there's no one around to pull him off if things get heated.
I'm here to get my third victory against Daniel Cormier.
He's not gonna win.
I'm here to show the world that I'm a better fighter and a better coach.
Well, that's the thing is he won one. He cheated the second time and it didn't win. So yeah, let's remember that. And I'm gonna beat him this time. There's no way he can outcoach me. Yeah, no chance.
I think being on my team alone, just being on my team, gives the fighters all the energy that they need to be victorious.
John, what do you think?
I'm just wondering how much DC weighs right now.
You used to make fun of me about being fat. Look at you.
I look good.
He tries to like pull his shirt and the hottest.
Good.
It's hot as hell out here. Can we go inside?
We can't afford for anything bad to happen out here. We're in the middle of nowhere. There's barely anybody to pull me off of them.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God.
Daniel Cormier jokingly requested a villa far away from Jon Jones, saying he doesn't have a relationship with him and wants to avoid his energy entirely. Jon Jones responded confidently, calling himself a fierce competitor focused on securing a third victory over Cormier.
My relationship with Jones? I don't have one. I don't have a relationship with Jon Jones.
You asked for a villa away from Jon. This is true?
Yeah, in the neighborhood. Make sure his house is as far away from mine as it can be. I don't need his energy around me.
John, what do you mean about this?
I'm a fierce competitor. I'm here to win. I'm here to get my third victory against Daniel Cormier.
He's not gonna win.
I'm here to show the world that I'm a better fighter and a better coach.
Jon Jones laughs as Daniel Cormier admits he thinks about beating him every single day. Cormier insists he wouldn't step into the fight without confidence, saying this is his moment to finally take.
Is this showdown really personal for you?
I'm gonna win. Yes, I would not come if I didn't know I was gonna win. Every day I think about beating this guy. And this is a chance for me to kick his ass.
Let's keep it all in you.
We will kick this guy's ass.
Daniel Cormier also recalls the infamous face-off with Jon Jones, describing how a headbutt led him to slap Jones, only for both Jones and his manager to confront him aggressively. He says the situation escalated when they fell off the stage. Jon Jones, however, brushed it off, saying that if you're not bending the rules, you're not truly trying.
He headbutted me like these guys fight. I slap his face, grab him. Him and his manager, they double team me. That's how we won. When we fall off the cage, when we fall off the stage, the UFC grabbed me. I fall backwards. He falls. His manager then kicks me. This guy's brother, they jump me on the ground. This is how. His manager, him and his manager. Do you want to be a part of a guy like this? Dirty, cheat like this, jump two guys with one.
Listen, boys.
They jump me.
Listen, boys. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
They jump me.
On the other hand, Tom Aspinall confirms he's back in the gym, training carefully under his doctor's guidance after multiple surgeries. He says his focus is fully on recovery and getting back to performing at his best, following medical advice to ensure he's physically ready for a strong return.
When can we expect to see you back in the cage, Tom? What is the latest on that timeline?
Like Eddie said, I've had multiple surgeries, so things do have to be right for me physically as well. So just when I'm under the doctor's, whatever he says at the minute. So I'm back in the gym now doing a bit of training, and yeah, just the full focus is now just coming back and doing my thing.
Tom Aspinall reflects on how his injury shaped his mindset, teaching him to be ruthless in the fight game. He explains that the experience showed him the importance of earning as much as possible and protecting his own interests, because in the ring, nobody is really on your side.
Just on Dana, I know that he responded to a comment that I think he believed either you or your father made about you being shit on. Is this something that you can confirm, deny, or have a response to? I know that's something that he seemed unhappy with.
Yeah. I think they could have dealt with it a little bit better, but it's their business, mate. That's you got to go with it. Everyone's got their own opinion, so what are you going to do?
Not thought of, because again, you're the champ, but will this change the way things operate involving you in the UFC? Maybe things out of your control, but do you think you'll be looked at differently?
I have no idea. And something that I've learned from this whole injury thing and the backlash that I've got and stuff like that, mate, you got to make as much money and be as ruthless as possible. Nobody in there is your friend. And you got to capitalize on the time that you got in the sport, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Tom Aspinall says his partnership with Eddie Hearn is all about maximizing his career and building his brand. He explains that his team was small for much of his journey, and teaming up with Hearn gives him a chance to grow commercially while staying competitive. Even while recovering from injury, Aspinall is determined to return stronger and make every moment in the sport count.
You probably know already, I have signed with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom on a commercial advisory deal.
What's your initial thoughts on this, mate?
Well, we've done most of my career with the really small team that I've got, so I wanted to add to my value. Eddie's someone that I've known for a fair bit. I trust Eddie, and I want to make as much money and grow commercially as much as possible while I'm fighting.
And what does this mean for, your fighting career going forward as well?
Obviously, we're still recovering, but I'm looking to get back in there as soon as possible. So I just want to maximize the time that I've got in the sport, grow more commercially, and do it with, expand my team a little bit, make it as big and powerful as possible.
Eddie Hearn also clarifies that a move into boxing for Tom Aspinall isn't happening anytime soon. He notes that Aspinall is under contract with the UFC, and while he believes Tom could make a serious impact in the boxing world, it's not part of the immediate plan.
A lot of fans will associate you with obviously boxing. Just to be clear on that, obviously Tom is still with the UFC.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, he has a contract with the UFC, so this isn't about bringing him into boxing. This is a commercial representation and an advisory capacity to help him across all of his business. And I'm sure, and everything that I hear means he can go in there and do serious damage in the boxing world, but it's not on the short-term agenda for sure.
Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall admits that the period following his injury and the no contest with Surreal Gain has been extremely challenging. He says it's been tough dealing with the situation and facing the opinions of others, but he's focused on bouncing back and proving himself with strong performances in the future.
And we haven't been hearing from you that much over the last few months, but mentally, how has the recovery been? Because obviously physically is one thing, but mentally it's a completely different thing.
Mate, it's been a really tough time for me. I'm not going to sit up here and lie. It's been tough, man. It's been hard to be in the position that I've been in, and not everyone, but a lot of people thinking what they think about me. It's been tough, but I'm obviously looking to come back from that and do good things.
Aspinall further insists that his rivalry with Surreal Gain isn't over, saying the outcome of their last encounter left him frustrated and determined. He explains that he's not content with how things played out and is focused on settling the score.
Surreal Gain is obviously the rematch that everybody is talking about, and that is what people are saying would be next when you come back. Is that the plan? Is that what you would be looking for?
Absolutely, yeah. We got unfinished business.
Yeah, is there even more of a hatred there now because of everything that has happened?
I'd like to think about my opponents like I don't hate or love them, but I'm definitely not that happy about this one.
Has Cyril reached out at all? Do you think he will?
I don't really care if he does or he doesn't.
On the other hand, Eddie Hearn recalls that when he first met Tom Aspinall, the heavyweight appeared mentally drained, weighed down by the ongoing challenges in his career. He sensed frustration and exhaustion, as if he had been stuck in the same conversations, waiting for answers that never arrived. Despite that, Hearn felt confident the partnership could change the trajectory of Aspinall's career and give him a fresh momentum.
Talking to Andy, which can last a long time sometimes, the passion that they have, the groundness that they have, the integrity they have. I just felt like I met a man that was just a little bit broken, if I'm honest with you. You've got to feel like, you've achieved a lot. And you've got to actually feel like you are the man. I know you're humble, but at the same time, don't also forget what you've done and who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put some, I know it's a bit cringe, but put some respect on the name. I mean, that's the reality. One of the things he said to me, he said, you sure you want to represent me? I'm a bit, bit of a sort of broken record at the moment. Like, you know, I said, what are you talking about? You're the UFC World Heavyweight Champion, mate. You're one of the most fierce fighters on the planet, and I see you as a massive star. Get your chin up, get your mojo up.
Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn doesn't hesitate at the idea of boxing Dana White, confidently claiming he would knock him out. He says there's no way he could turn down the challenge.
Do you think he's actually knocked Dana White out, though? Seriously, that's a serious question.
He's genuinely called the fight on. Listen, you always say to me, would you fight Frank Warren? Would you fight Ben Shalom? Would you? And I've always said yes, or Simon Jordan, or whatever, because I know I'd win those fights. Yeah. But I watched Dana sparring.
There you go.
By the way, of course I'd do it. Because how could you say no? Then you'd be a pussy, wouldn't you? By the way, Netflix would pay an absolute fortune, or live on DAZN, the global home of boxing. So I'll probably make a fortune to do it. And if I got chinned, I'll get chinned. But I'll probably spark him out, to be fair.
Dana White confirms he's open to boxing Eddie Hearn, though he doubts Eddie truly wants the fight. He recalls his own experience boxing back in the day, hinting that he's ready if the challenge comes.
Eddie has a 10-year advantage over you. He's got the youth, but you are Dana White. You are the biggest animal in world sport. You know, if it actually happened, who would win?
Listen, if Eddie wants to box, we can box. We can box if Eddie wants to box. I don't think Eddie wants to box.
Would you be confident?
Yeah, listen, I used to, you know, back in the day, I used to box with all the guys, you know, boxers and UFC guys. I have boxed.
So if Eddie Hearn's up for it, you're on for it.
Absolutely.
Tom Aspinall jokes about a potential boxing match between Dana White and Eddie Hearn, saying he might have to pick someone else if Eddie doesn't come out on top.
Dana White spoke about it this week, a 4-round boxing contest between Eddie Hearn and Dana White. Who are you picking?
Well, what do you think?
I think Eddie's got the size.
I think Eddie's got the size on him.
He said to me, if you get beat in that, the deal's over.
I might have to go with someone else, mate, if Eddie loses.
I would like to officially appoint Andy Aspinall as my trainer. You know, I mean, boxing-wise, yes. If we do move on the ground, I know he's got me covered on that. But yeah, I mean, the big problem is I've seen Dana White spar. He ain't bad. But I told Tom this. He said, you couldn't lose that fight, so... I
think you've got the size, but I think Dana's got the pedigree, maybe.
On the other hand, Luke Thomas points out Eddie Hearn's smart timing in signing Tom Aspinall, noting the heavyweight's rising profile and the increasing frustration among UFC fighters over pay. He suggests Aspinall's move could encourage others to explore boxing as a way to boost their value and earnings.
Eddie really was quite wise to do this when he did. Again, not only is Tom the heavyweight champion of the world, but as I indicated, there's this broader context of like these UFC fighters being like, "Why? Time out. Why are we not getting this kind of money?" And they're speaking openly about it in ways that is, I would tell you. I mean, I'm not saying I've never seen it like this. I have, but this is a unusual amount of pushback from an unusually high level place. And so, what if Aspinall ends up being the bellwether, where now Eddie signs 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, maybe 2 or 3 UFC champions, something crazy. What happens in a scenario where he's got a bit of a hand to play? Again, until you can really get to the end of these deals, the leverage is minimized, but that is certainly something to consider going forward.
Tom Aspinall says the massive pay gap in Conor Benn's fight with Dana White has bothered many in the sport. He points out that while one fighter earned $15 million, the other got just $15,000, highlighting the inequality and motivating him to explore alternative ways to secure fair compensation.
Tom, I know you briefly touched on it then, but we've seen Dana come in and he's paying boxers a lot more than in the UFC. Did that bother you at first at all?
I mean, I think it's bothered everybody. I think if one guy's getting paid 15 million and the other guy's getting 15 grand, I think that's a big difference, mate. Which is part of the reason that I want to explore other options.
Is part of exploring other options for when you do negotiate, you can say, look, I'm earning X amount outside the ring, maybe I should be earning a bit more in the ring. Well, in the octagon, sorry.
Well, yeah, I'm aware that Eddie and Matchroom are a powerhouse organisation. They'll be working, advising my dad, who is my manager. He has been my manager from the beginning. And I'm sure they'll be getting the point across well for how things stand financially in the future.
Tom Aspinall stresses that fighters need to take action, not just talk when it comes to pay. He says discussions and interviews won't change much, and fighters must explore real options and stand firmly for their worth. Aspinall emphasizes that every time he steps into the ring, he risks his health and deserves to be compensated as fully as possible.
We've seen Michael Venom Page come out recently and almost sort of piggyback off that and say about how he thinks the UFC fighters should be also getting higher purses. Do you expect more UFC fighters to be coming out talking about the fact that obviously Zuffa's purses do seem to be more inflated than the UFC?
I don't know. Like, everyone can talk about it as much as they want, but what's talking going to do? People have got to start exploring their options and really making a stand for what they believe in, I think. So I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I know that talking on interviews isn't really going to do much. So hopefully I'm here, like, I know me personally, every time I'm going in there, I'm risking my health. That's part of combat sports. And I want to be compensated for that as much as I possibly can.
Israel Adesanya reacted with frustration to reports that Conor Benn earned $15 million for a single boxing match. While he respects the skill of top boxers, he stresses that UFC fighters are elite in their own right. Adesanya even joked that he wouldn't mind earning a similar payday for just one fight.
You've proved it to them, so now, again, Zuffa is the next challenge. Zuffa Boxing is the next challenge that he set his eyes on. But with that being said, don't forget what, I mean, he started in boxing, of course, but what brought you to the game? This is what got him to be the name Dana White, the UFC president, is this. So I can see why the other fighters, I'm trying to think, how do I feel? Wait, I'm like, do I feel jaded by it? But I understand, like, these, like, we know these guys are top class boxers. They're the best in the world at what they do, but so are we. This is the UFC. And if one guy can command that kind of money for one fight, and that's from the same company, Zuffa, and this is what's been keeping the lights on, is the UFC. We love ultimate fighting, not limited fighting. I don't feel jaded, but I'm like, I want 15 million for one fight too.
Oh, I mean, you guys are taking kicks to the head and
not even. I mean, you know, like, just saying, like,
30
now,
billion,
okay, yeah, the bonus has gone up, but that's not guaranteed.
No, that's a drop in the ocean.
Exactly, but that's not even guaranteed.
Sean O'Malley also voiced his surprise at Dana White paying such a massive sum, confessing he didn't even know who Conor Benn was. He called it unbelievable that a fighter could earn that much for a single bout, pointing out that despite years of building his own reputation as a top UFC star, he hasn't come close to that level of payday.
It's for me, it's so hard to believe just because, like, I did see it, I heard it, I've been told, Tim told me, did you see that? I'm like, that doesn't mean it's true. I don't know, it could very well be true. I can't imagine it being true. Zuffa Boxing, it's like, they're paying out, I don't even know who Conor Benn is.
I don't know.
He, like, supposedly is a pretty big name in boxing, but I never heard of him. Yeah, they really paid this is Ben Johns?
Conor
Ben. Conor. Whatever.
Conor Benn.
If they really, Ben Jones used to be a UFC fighter. If they really paid him $15 million, it's like,
I wouldn't blame you for going to box.
Yeah, it's crazy how you just put in so much work in the UFC, build this name, create this character, be this star, you know, and it's like, I'm not making $15 million fight.
Yeah.
But it's also a business. If they think that's a good business move and that guy's gonna bring in money, it's like, I get it. I don't take anything personal in business. Business is business.
Similarly, Michael Page criticizes the massive payout to Conor Benn, saying it underscores the challenges UFC fighters face. He notes that Benn isn't even at the top of his division, while former champions like Francis Ngannou received far less. Page argues that such pay disparities damage the sport's reputation.
But it's just hurtful to see the money go that way for somebody that, for me, is not at the top of his field. He's a great boxer. I'm a fan of his. I love watching his fights because it's always exciting. He always gives it all. But in that division, he's nowhere near the best. But yet you've given that amount of money to somebody that I'd say is not the best. But then you got like people over here that are at the top of that. I'm going to use Francis Ngannou simply because it's just an easy one that's kind of come out. At the top of his game, heavyweight champion of the world, and was broke and having to borrow money. And it's just like, those are the kind of stories that I feel like they could fix that easily. It just shouldn't even, that just shouldn't exist. I think it tarnishes the brand as well. And as a supporter of the brand, you don't want to see people just talking bad of the brand. And I don't want to talk bad of the brand myself. So, and I feel like it's an easy fix.
That's it from today's video. Share your thoughts on the matchup and make sure to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos.